Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kevin Baculi. This past weekend, I was a part of the 49-hour film festival as a part of the team Puzzling Notions with Susan Zell and Jeremy Williams and cinematographer Messiah Bragg. I played an actor, I was director as well, and I did the editing and a little bit of cinematography. And I'm coming straight fresh from the awards ceremony, and we are actually awarded with a Rookie of the Year award. So yeah, again, thank you so much to Susan and Jeremy for your guys' hard work, and thank you for letting me join your team. Super last minute. Huge thanks to you guys. I couldn't have done this without you guys, and I'm super glad that I got a chance to showcase my talents. And yeah, here's to the next year. So yeah, just want to make this video as a little bit of a director's commentary on our film. I want to tell you guys a little bit of the backstory about making the film, certain scenes, and just the process overall with regards to making this. This is my first time entering the 49-hour film festival, and it was also Susan, Jeremy, and Messiah's first time entering the film competition as well. So and it was my first time making a movie from beginning to end. It was actually very fun, very satisfying. There were some very difficult parts that we had to overcome um, come the day of the deadline, but we submitted it, and we finally got the award. For those of you who don't know about what this film competition is, 49-hour film festival is a filming competition that takes place over 49 hours, and to ensure that people don't cheat and make sure that people film just during the specific 49-hour period. Each team is assigned a genre the day of the kickoff, and every team is assigned the same prop. For this competition, it was a traveling souvenir, so that could have been up to whoever interpretation it was. And we had to include a character. The character that we had to include in the film was Jeffrey the fighter. And every team also had to include a line of dialogue. And in this instance, it was "The world is yours." So as we were making this film, we wanted to center around those things to make sure that it was obvious that we were incorporating the criteria that the competition organizers had assigned to us. And for those of you who don't know, this is very similar to the 48-hour film festival, just a different company, different sponsors. This is my first time, like I said, entering the 49-hour. It's actually a lot of fun. I did have to do a lot of work over a 49-hour period. Didn't get too much sleep. Did all of the editing for my team, and had to reshoot some scenes as well. I'm glad that we had an end result that we all felt comfortable submitting, and I'm glad that I got to experience doing this for the first time. So the story behind this is that there's a streamer. He streams, and then there's a stalker who's constantly watching him. Then there's an altercation when the stalker learns that the streamer is going to be visiting his area. There's an altercation, and then after that altercation, the streamer's life is changed. So here we go. Okay, here we go, guys. So I'm playing the streamer, and Jeremy was the stalker. Let me go back to that title card real quick. Shout out to Jeremy for making the logo. We had two options for the genre. So like I said, every team is assigned a different genre. We could have done dance. I felt like we could have done good with dance, but with exploitation, I think we would have. I think with the result that we have, it came out all right. But yeah, maybe next time we'll definitely stick to something we're a little bit more comfortable doing. But I like the story that we made. It was very complicated at the very beginning, but it was really cool to really explore and get out of my comfort zone to establish this short film. Okay, here we go, guys. Sit. yeah, close-ups of the creepy smile for Jeremy, and a lot of people like really loved these close-up shots. Yeah, I remember at the award ceremony, people kept asking for Jeremy's Instagram. So, yeah, you're welcome, Jeremy, for having me shoot these close-up shots of you. That's what I'm talking about. The world is ours. And so, yeah, the traveling souvenir was this watch, and actually, it's actually dead. Um, I didn't have time to fix it, so it's gonna always say, what is that, 11? Oh, it says 11:11. So it's always gonna say 11:11 throughout the film. So if you watch closely, there's some later scenes where there's some close-ups. You'll see that the time has not changed at all. But yeah, this was our traveling souvenir. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We did it, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Killer crew in the house. So Susan's entrance as the girlfriend. So you'll see how she's like really bubbly and jovial. Her demeanor in this scene is really important to take a note of for later scenes. Yeah, chicken nugget scene. Everybody loved the chicken nugget scene.
Look what he got me in Hawaii.
So yeah, this shot is just to show that they're like financially doing well. Also important. I don't know if she actually got that in Hawaii, but yeah, shout out to Susan for bringing up her prop game. Oh, and if you guys didn't notice, the curtains behind me are the same curtains in this shot. So I tore these curtains down, brought it to Susan's place. And thank you so much, Susan and Michael, for letting us use your place for filming everything. Yeah, so I just tore these curtains behind me down and brought it to Susan's place. And that was the streaming setup. Because the world is ours. We take it over this place, guys. And people love this scene too. I shot this. I think I'm going to end it on a good note. So... she's awesome. One thing to mention is that we did work on a script, but the script was for a little bit more of a complex story with way too many layers. So we decided the morning of filming to just simplify everything, and then we ended up not using the script that we spent a few hours working on. And actually, the entire film is like improvised. So all of these lines, that kiss on the cheek, that was spontaneous. And there's some bloopers later that I'll make into like a reel. A lot of things I just wasn't expecting. Yeah, it was actually really cool to do it improvised, but it did cause some issues that I'll mention later on in the film. But we made it work, and I think the way Jeremy and Susan came up with dialogue on the spot, it really did pan out, and we really were able to work off of each other's energy and each other's ideas. Okay, so yeah, entrance to Jeremy's character, the stalker. Interesting. Everybody who subbed. And if you guys don't know already, won't be streaming for the next few days because I'm going to WinterCon. I think here I could have made a logo. WinterCon is a playoff of BlizzCon. I know Jeremy loves Blizzard, and we're like, okay, we gotta mention that I'm going somewhere. Where can we go? And he said, oh, BlizzCon. But wait, we can't. We don't want to say BlizzCon. We want to like play off of it. So Jeremy suggested WinterCon. So yeah, check me out on my Discord. He's coming to town. He's coming to town. So yeah, guys. In that last shot with Jeremy, I actually forgot that he did the until post production. So it was just like the icing on the cake for or the cherry on top for that scene. Thanks for joining me. Thank you to everybody. The world is ours, y'all. So yeah, this is your boy Killer KX signing out. And personally, I like these blackouts. Signifies the end of the scene. Ambiguity showing what's next. So, and I apologize in advance if I don't know if I'm not using the correct terminology for shots. I briefly took like an impromptu art class in history one time in high school because my history teacher was actually an artist. So there's some terminology I know, but I don't know a lot of it. So Again, I apologize in advance if I say something, but it's actually something else. So in the previous scene, he said he's going to BlizzCon. So these next scenes, filming at Suncoast, want to show that I'm traveling on my way to BlizzCon. Again, I think I could have made like a quick logo or something, but just didn't have too much time. So after traveling to the hotel, finally make it to my destination, and this scene is actually supposed to take place after a day at the convention. So you'll hear me say later, "Oh, I'm so tired from the con," and yep, enter the stock room. That stair that I stepped on, I don't know what happened, but every time we stepped on it, it just made a huge clang. So that was not intentional, but I think it's on. I think it turned out cool. And this whole scene was shot with the direction of myself and Jeremy, and Messiah was the one behind the camera. So yeah, thank you, Messiah, for your hard work and joining us last minute. And as you it's a funny story. Um, Jeremy ended up changing his jacket, and I asked him if he was cold. So I lent him my jacket, like in real life. That's why he's wearing it. But we made it work out in the scene, anyways. So yeah, that's why he's wearing my clothes. Real quick. So this scene was shot with Messiah's iPhone. There was some B-roll and some cutaways shot with my iPhone, but they did not come out too great. I think they were way too grainy. So sorry, Susan, you did shoot some, and I'll probably add those in the blooper reel. But there's some shots of like close-ups of the stalker's face, of him walking, different perspectives of when we're finally up at the top of the stairwell. But I did not like how it turned out. Way too grainy. The ISO was just way too high. Unfortunately, that's not something that we can control on iPhones. Oh, yeah, everything in this movie was shot with an iPhone. So yeah, shout out to Messiah for bringing the better iPhone. This scene was beautifully shot. So I like how it turned out. Yes, a creeper smile. Walk into the door. The door was like ajar in that scene. This was actually a rehearsal shot. So as you can see, like right before, like I was punching the numbers, I was going ha 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 ha. This was a practice shot. This was not supposed to end up in the final. This was not actually supposed to show up in the final production, but it turned out pretty well. Um, there's some a lot of, and actually I do use a lot of the practice shots that we did just because Messiah was getting a little bit used to shooting with an iPhone. So there's some shots where Susan is actually sitting in the stairwell in the background, but I cut the clip right before it gets to her. So which is why some scenes are a little bit more zoomed in, why some scenes are a little bit may seem a little bit more abrupt. I just one mistake that I definitely made was not checking the footage as we were shooting it. But yeah, huge rookie mistake on my end. But I like how it turned out. I was able to use what we came up with. So yeah, I think what the end result was turned out pretty well for what I had to work with and the time frame.
KX.
So sorry, no photos right now. I'm really just really tired from the con.
Jeffrey the Fighter.
What the fuck did you get here? What happens to me? There's 3 guys ready to post this and kick your ass.
So there's like, continuity error right here. So in the previous scene, I have 2 hands on the stalker, but in this one, I just have 1 hand. So yeah, if you guys caught that, good for you. If you didn't, now you know. There's a few things in this scene that I wish I did include. He calls me in some takes. He calls me a bitch. In some takes, he threatens me a little bit longer. But some of the shots were just a little bit too zoomed in. So couldn't use those, but yeah, like I said, utilized what I was given, and I like how it turned out. So, but yeah, just a quick backstory about this scene. We shot this a few times, and Jeremy is more of a live actor. So the day of, I told him, okay, dude, like this is TV, or like TV and film, so you're gonna have to be saying the same line over and over again. It's not like a live performance. So when we finally got to shooting this scene, he's like, "Oh dang, yeah, you're right. I do have to say the same line every single time." And this is one of the difficulties it was without having like a solid script. Like each scene was just like slightly different from the next, so syncing up the dialogue, and on top of that, there were some shots that where Jeremy wanted to interrupt me while I was speaking, so as part of the dialogue. So it was a little tough um, to incorporate that. But that shot that I did use when he says Jeffrey the fighter, I think that was the first shot that we took. I think, and it was the best one. So yeah, it was. I think that was just really lucky to have that first good shot and to be able to utilize it.
What the fuck you want? Watch.
So I held that shot way too long.
Now,
And another continuity error on my end. We're like way closer, and in some scenes, um, the stalker says "now, bitch" instead of just "now." So I wish there was a good scene shot of him saying "now, bitch." And then another thing, another story element that was a little bit hard to incorporate with the footage that was taken was Jeremy wanted the stalker to not actually be sure what he wanted after establishing leverage with the streamer. So there are some scenes where he's like thinking, he's like, "Oh, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. Oh, I want that watch." So, yeah, unfortunately, could not find where I could incorporate the shots that we had with that, but it was just a story element to show that even though the stalker has like this incriminating evidence of the streamer, he doesn't actually know what to do with the leverage that he's established. So there's a power exchange. He doesn't even know where he wants that power exchange to go. So that just adds a little bit more to the personality to the stalker. Very creepy, very like unstable, no end goal in mind, very spontaneous. So I think incorporating that story element would have definitely been great, but had to work with what I got.
I got your shirt from the airport.
Yeah. So again, like I mentioned, he just ended up wearing my clothes that night. So yeah, supposedly the stalker stole his sweatshirt from the airport. That's why I'm not wearing it, and he is. And there's some scenes where we had some banter. Like I said, "Oh yeah, you didn't steal that from me. You stole that from Route 21." So yeah, there's some really funny banter. Maybe I'll add that into the blooper reel as well.
What is yours? The fuck out of here.
And there's the dialogue, the required dialogue. So he mocks me for saying the world is ours in the stream, and then yeah, utilize that dialogue. I think we did it all right. So at that point, I'm like, oh shit, I have to say it like as it is, because we're playing off of it, but we're not saying it exactly how the competition described it should be. So that was like the one chance we got, and we did it. Super upset about that watch now. So yeah. 3 months later. That's my streaming equipment. Show how fat I am, show that some weight gain. And one thing about this scene, we actually wanted to shoot a workout scene like of me at the gym, we didn't have too much time. Like that outfit I wore earlier with the tank top, that was actually supposed to be my workout outfit. So we were supposed to show some scenes of me like lifting weights, going on the treadmill, show that I'm fit, to juxtapose this scene where it looks like I'm fucking fat. I mean, I'm still fucking fat, but you know, I still work out. So um yeah, just to establish a contrast, like, hey, I'm mentally doing well, I'm going to the gym, and now I'm like a fat piece of shit, not making too much money, being lazy on my ass. So yeah, that's why this shot's in here. Along with the mess too. Look at that double chin.
Good morning. Work. Yeah, some of us have real jobs.
We had to reshoot this scene, so those cutaways where it's like a close up of Susan's face, we had to reshoot those because initially her head was cut off at the top. It's getting cut off already, so yeah.
You've been streaming all night.
Yeah.
What, 3 viewers?
Oh, thankfully, you guys can't see the top of my head here, but as you can see in the cutaway shots, my hairstyle is different. It's like waxed. So
This is 3 viewers.
Maybe you should get a real job.
This is a real job. I make money.
Maybe when you were winning.
I can still win.
Oh yeah, this is gonna help your reaction time.
You smoke weed too.
Because I'm stressed out. I just got promoted. Some coffee. Oh my god, you take my fucking Adderall?
I didn't take your Adderall.
Then
she came in a little too soon for what I wanted. I was actually gonna say bye, Felicia, but she cuts me off with the Adderall line.
is it empty?
Maybe you can't count.
Yeah, right. I can count to 0.
I take a fucking Adderall. Can you count?
Yeah, I can count. I can count to 4 in binary.
Oh, that's real mature.
Uh-huh.
Real mature. Real
Yeah.
mature.
Oh yeah? That's nice coming from a man-child who can't even get a real fucking job. Have fun playing video games all day.
Let's have fun at my fucking job.
Yeah, so that stair scene was one of the first shots that we took. I think it turned out great. There are some better shots I took, but I had to use that scene because no, I had to use the initial argument scene because the end was her walking towards the stairwell, and I just didn't wanted to minimize continuity errors, which is why I used that initial shot. There were some better shots that I could have used, but none of them ended with her going towards the stairs because, you know, while she does the I can count to 4 in binary shot, she's coming up the stairs. So yeah, this is Susan's bong. This is Michael's keyboard and mouse, and that's my flash drive and my adapter in this scene. And the reason why I used that close up of the weed pipe is because I was actually smiling in the shot, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't look like good acting, so I just did a cutaway to freaking the weed pipe. Shout out to Jeremy for shooting this scene. We had a light source. We had a ring light. I'll show you guys. We have this ring light, but it was casting too much of a shadow. So he said, you know, let's just not use it. The way the light from the ceiling just shines down on me and casts shadow on my face, I think it's beautiful. Beautiful. So yeah, shout out Jeremy for shooting this scene and directing it too. And then yeah, touch on the wrist just to show that, you know, really missing that watch even after 3 months. Dishwashing scene. So for this scene, the running water is actually the same clip of running water looped 4 times. Just wanted to emphasize she's washing dishes. Oh, these shots in particular, I had to cut some of them out because we shot all of the scenes inside of Susan's condo. So the end scene, or actually where the stalker lives, is the couch. So if we turn maybe like 30 more degrees to the right, you'll actually see the couch. So some of these scenes had to cut off right before it hit the couch. So um, hence the abruptness in some of the shots here. And why it may seem choppy at this point.
You remember a few years ago, I told you something about Jeffy the Fighter?
And that's in the past, right?
Something happened.
Come on, talk to me. Who is it?
I just noticed this. So the suitcase that I was carrying in the stairwell scene is right there in the background.
Something happened.
Come on, talk to me. Who is it? Tell me anything, okay? We're still a team.
Ooh, right there. If Messiah moved the camera a little bit more to the left, you would have seen like the sliding door and the couch. And actually, Jeremy was taking a break, so you actually would have seen Jeremy too in the background. Same thing with this shot. Messiah was zooming out, but he almost got a shot of Jeremy. Well, he actually did, so I cut it right before it got to that point. Yep. Oh, I love this shot. Shout out to more advanced iPhones than mine.
So what are we doing, babe?
I'm gonna take care of it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. You got this, babe. You get that motherfucker.
You're gonna get that motherfucker. I think in the live viewing, people were gasping at the gun, and they didn't get to hear Susan's "We're gonna get that motherfucker" line. More close-ups, but now you know who it is. I told him to lick his lips too, just to make it seem more creepy. So yeah, just wanted to have some comparisons, and now we're with these shots. I wanted to show that now he's wearing the freaking watch that the streamer had. Yeah. Yep, the snorted. Yep. The watch is still dead.
Hey, you got the time?
Yeah, it's 1:40.
Time to die, bitch. Can't keep hell waiting.
So that scene, I wish it wasn't written for me to interrupt the stalker, but it is what it is. I felt maybe the dialogue was crunched up a little bit too much, but I get why Jeremy had it written that way. Give me my watch back.
Well, this man, bitch.
Well, this my bitch, and in this last scene, had to cut away because if the camera moves down just a little bit and you see that you would be able to see the bars of the balcony, so I cut away right before it hit that. Yep, just like that. Just chatting. Yep. So yeah, guys, that was my commentary on this film. It was very satisfying, and to know that your work is acknowledged in the form of an award. Really happy, and for being the first time to enter the competition, really glad that things worked out. Things always work out. So again, have lots of appreciation for Susan and Jeremy for including me in their team. Super thankful that we got to be a part of it. So yeah, that's my commentary. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe and yeah, check out more of our content. What did you guys think of the film? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. If you guys noticed some things, let me know as well. I know that there are some things that some other people that we showed it to initially thought of it. And, for it being our very first film ever for the three of us, I think it turned out pretty well. But going into whatever competition comes next, I definitely know how I would do things differently and better. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take care.